Welcome back to Road Japan live from Mr Afo studio somewhere in Sendai. Hi you guys. Again, Merry Christmas. It's a bit cold in Sendai. It's not snowing yet, but it's snowing actually the southern part of Japan quite really. This is quite rare to happen here. But it's not really snowing here in Sendai. So today, I am ready to answer as many questions as possible that I got from Twitter and Instagram and the questions I'm getting right now. Thanks for the all the answers or the questions that you had, and then there are like hundreds of questions I received. I don't think I can answer every single of them, but I'm trying to answer as many as possible today. So I'm looking at this, and I don't know where Chris is. Have you guys seen the boxing match of Chris? What did you think? I mean, I did not know the rule until the end, really. I mean, like, I don't know how to play the chess anyway, so I had no idea how the chess match comes in between the actual boxing scenes. Anyway, so he won, so I congratulated, and I sent a message, and I tweeted and everything, but I have no idea how he won still. But anyway, so okay, so let's start. Let me just start answering all your questions. Okay, here comes the first one. Okay, as a Japanese man, after living in different countries, experiencing different cultures, what behavior traditionally considered to be the Japanese way you can't see yourself going back to? As a first question, it's quite hard already. I think right now I'm kind of like really cheerful, talking out loud, not really shy anymore. But I left Japan when I was 15, so I think I was really shy when I got there. I was already shy to just speak English. That was first thing I could not do. I knew how to speak, just, hello, how are you doing? What did you do today? I was able to say that, but I had I wasn't brave enough to actually talk to people that you have met and who couldn't speak Japanese. And if I go back to when I was 15, I would just talk to myself and say, don't be shy, just speak out loud. People will be nice to you, because that was the first thing that I could not do for the first month or so. But then year after, I got myself used to the American culture. People are really nice, friendly, and everything, compared to Japanese. But it was quite strange when I first went to the States. When you walk on the street, you can have someone is coming in front of you. And then you kind of cross, and then people can look at you and say hi. We never do that in Japan, and then that was something that kind of that surprised me, amazed me the most. Like, it's someone who you don't know, just talks to you on the street. But I got used to it a year later, and then since then, and I was like, I think it opened up my mind that it was okay to talk to people, someone new, and be nice. It would make you yourself nice. And that was something I would just tell myself if I go back to my age of 15. Okay, second question. Do you think you can beat Mr. Afo in chess or boxing? Like I said, I have no idea how to chess, so I'll just lose if I play chess against him. But I'm 100% possible or confident to win against him on actual boxing, I would say. Well, I'm not really sure boxing though. If I just do the karate or something, like in Japanese martial arts, I'll just definitely win with his meat on his belly at the moment. But I don't know. He's trying to lose some weight. So if he actually succeed in doing that, he's been succeeding though. Thanks to the actual great training done by Nicholas Pettis, the kickboxing world K1 champion, world Japan champion, and also the another professional boxer. He's been trained by them. The Ryosuke, he's actually the YouTuber of Japan, Champs Kitchen, Champs Japanese Kitchen. He's the YouTuber, and he's been trained by them, and it's been working really well. And so he's right now back in the UK, and I don't know if he still trains himself in the way that he taught them. I'm not really sure about that though, because he's being kind of right now fed what the Scottish, what's that? The what was that? Haggis? What's that? Haggis? Yeah, that's right. And the roast beef and the fish and chips and all that, the food that he loves. And I don't know how, in what kind of form that he's going to come back to Japan. And now let's see. And I'll try to. To answer the question, I think I'll win against the actual boxing, but again, not against chess. Okay. Third question. What's the best thing about Christmas in Japan? You all know that. You all know that, right? You all know that. Because, I mean, in Japan, what's the greatest thing? Turkey does not exist in Japan. And what exists in Japan is fried chicken, right? We all eat fried chicken. And I was just talking to my cameraman today that we should do the live streaming next year on 24th of December, the Christmas Eve, to actually queue up at the KFC, and how long it takes to actually receive the fried chicken. You have to reserve that, because if you don't reserve it, you can't buy it because it's just so popular. So we're just gonna do the live streaming, just queuing up, and how long it's gonna take, and how tasty it is actually to enjoy the KFC in Japan on a Christmas Eve. So to answer your question, what's the best thing about Christmas in Japan? You can get fried chicken absolutely everywhere. Everywhere. I'm talking about family bars, Lowe's, and all the convenience, and then every single kind of like a supermarket, they all sell fried chicken, but no turkey. But something that disappoints me, and I'm so depressed I can't get any turkey. But I think I'm going to enjoy my KFC tonight. I've already reserved it. Okay, next question. Okay, next question. Okay, I understand that Tokyo is very, very, very expensive. And what about other cities in Japan? And are they all expensive as well as Tokyo? This is a little bit difficult to answer because really depends on what it is. For instance, if you rent an apartment it becomes really expensive, like in the real estates. Because there's just too many people and try to get their land, piece of land, little small piece of land to each other. So the land is very expensive. So the rent is eventually becomes very expensive. But when it comes to food, because there are so many restaurants in Tokyo, they are like very cheap, reasonable, but still good ones. And also, if you pay a lot of money, you can go to many good restaurants. But if you want if you come to Sendai or even like rural countryside areas, land is very, very cheap, so that you can rent your apartment really cheap too. But food-wise, if you like the konbini or the big franchise restaurants, they are mainly the same. The price are the same. But what difference is if you go to countryside, the more you go, the further you go outside Tokyo, that not only the price, but quality becomes better. And if you fish, for instance, if you go to Hokkaido or even Sendai, if you go to sushi restaurant, you would have to pay like what you would have to pay for like 20,000, which is like $20 maybe, or you would have to pay for like 6,000, which is like $60. So it'd be like what, like 1/4 or so, or 1/3 or so. You only have to pay that much to get excellent sushi. Actually, I will show you. Let me just show you the sushi restaurant that I always go to. Let me just go to the. Okay. Let me go to the Google map here and just search for the restaurant that I always go to. Okay. Okay. It's called Kameki Sushi. Kameki Sushi Restaurant in Shiogama City, right next to Sendai. It only takes about like half an hour by train, and so it's quite it's accessible by anyone as a tourist. You don't have to drive a car or anything. Kameki Sushi is very popular in the area, in the region. The people in Sendai go all the way to Shiogama City to go to this restaurant. Shiogama City itself is very popular in the sushi. Some of you might have seen a video with Chris in abroad in Japan called 24 Hours in Sendai. We actually featured one of the restaurants one of the sushi restaurants in Shiogama, And I think that restaurant we went to, unfortunately closed down. So, but instead today I'm going to introduce this Kameki Sushi restaurant. What you have to order is I forgot it is, I forgot how much it is, but $60, around $60. There's like set, omakase set, sushi omakase set, $60. Order that because this is the absolute dish you need to order because you will be like you will never get like as satisfied this can be in your life sushi experience. So just try that, and this is somewhere that you should go to when it comes to Sendai for sushi. Okay, going back to the questions. Okay, going back to the questions. Okay, next question. What is the best traditional Japanese sweet? Very, very good question because I've been asked by many people like what should I try when I go to Japan, like sweet wise, because Japanese sweet is not that famous. I would say the worldwide Japanese food, as in like sushi, tempura, soba, ramen, gyoza, you name it. They're all like famous, right? People enjoy that whenever they come to Japan. But for sweets area, I think it's not so many sweets are well known in the world yet. So one thing I'd like to recommend today to try, or even like as a souvenir or as a present with a gift when you go back to your country, is castella. Castella. Have you heard of the castella? Yeah, it's kind of like it's a soft sponge cake, a lot of eggs, like egg yolk in it. It's called castella. The name castella comes from the word Castilla or Castella as a Portuguese or Spanish. It's from that area. It got imported, I think, that the whole like the baking technique, I think, came from that area, Portuguese, I guess, back in Edo era, so 19th century. So I think we kind of we did the kaizen. I think we tried to like make it better and better, and then I think it became the form of today, as you see it in the photo. It's sweet and it's got kind of sugar on the top and the bottom, and eating with that sugar part, it's got like really hard, kind of crispy sugar still remained on the top, and together with the very soft sponge cake in between, lots of egg in it, it's amazing. This is something that it's the best. It's the sweet that I like the most about it amongst all Japanese sweets, and it's best to eat or drink with milk. It suits with milk so much. Without milk, it's like you just lose 50% of the whole whole flavor. So when you eat it, make sure you eat it with milk. So this is the best sweet that I love the most. So far, how's it going? I think we're getting lots of questions. So let me just go to some of the questions that I received on the. Oh my God, it's going really fast. It's going really fast. So let me just go back to some of the questions. I know there's one question that I got from. Yeah, okay, the Wendy Lisbus. I think in my introduction video that I released, the very first one, I guess, or the second one, I said that I lived in Germany, and it's like, where did you live in Germany? In North, West, or East, or South of Germany? I started off from South Germany, in Munich, München, and then later after a year, I started living in Düsseldorf, the northwest of Germany, right next to Amsterdam, actually. You know what I mean by that, and also right next to Belgium and stuff. So I love that area. Hail from Los Angeles. Now that Chris has completed a chess boxing match, and when I am going to see that two of your battle in Jiu-Jitsu or the shogi match. Yeah, like I said, like I would win the shogi match. So I'll try to play with him. But the problem is he doesn't know how to play shogi. So I'm sure I think he wants to play with me or not. Okay, there are some questions. Okay, hold on a sec. Let me just choose one. Okay, should we tell Chris he broke into the studio that the way he's in England, and that might be the end game of the kill game. Yes, I copied his key. And and I'm just sneaking in, and then he'll be like he'll be freaking out by this time watching me do the live stream. Okay, so I got $20. Thank you very much, Andrew Chen, asking me a question. Wishing you a great Merry Christmas and a happy holidays. Thank you for and all that you do. Oh, not even a question. It's a message. Thank you so much. I just love these people. You know, like just sending me money, and sending me not even a question, but like lovely message. Thank you so much, Andrew Chen. Okay, wherever you're from. Okay. Right. Next question. Okay. What's your favorite? Is that ready-made curry? Okay. Very, very, very good question. About like 10, recently, like about 5 years, last 5 years or so, right next to Sendai, there's a ready-made curry company founded, and that company has been very popular. It's called Nishikiya. Let me just go back to my my web browser. Nishikiya Kitchen. So I don't know if they import, if they export it, but they're like a EC site. So if you want to just take a look at it, they'll just take a look at the all kinds of curry they have, and the kind of curry, that ready-made curry, you just kind of boil it and then just put it on the rice. That kind of curry, they have like, no, I wouldn't say hundreds, but like dozens of like flavors they have. Now I've tried like 3 or 4 of them, and it's been really, really good. So when it comes to Japan, like look for, they have like Nishikiya shops, like various places. I think they have one in Tokyo too. And obviously there are so many places in Sendai. So try that, and hopefully you'll like it. Hope you like it. Okay, so going back to the original question that I've received on Instagram, Twitter, so after best trying sweets, which is, what is the best way to learn all the kanji? How do Japanese kids learn kanji? This is a good question, but I would have to give you a bad answer, because there is no such a way, or there is no the best way to learn all the kanjis. It's just this has to be so gradual. You can't just learn kanji like that instantly. Let me just tell you how kids here in Japan learn kanji. Like myself, when I was a kid, I started, like we all start learning kanji in elementary school when you're 6, the first grade. So through, because we go to elementary school for 6 years, right? So in those 6 years, you have to like learn. You have to memorize 1,000 kanjis in those 6 years. So every week they have this little kanji test, Chinese character, like a kanji test. So like every day you have to like memorize 5 to 10 kanji, and you have small tests every single day to like make you memorize. They'll make you memorize what it looks like, how to read it, and how to write it. So you continue that like every day for like 6 years. That 6 those grades, and then by the time you hit like then when you graduate elementary school, you memorize. You should be able to read and write 1,000 characters. And junior high school, which is 3 years, an additional 500. So from you're 6 years old, and then when you graduate junior high school, you're 15. So 6 to 15, you have to memorize 1,500 kanjis. 1,500 kanjis. Can you believe that? But no worries, because we Japanese actually are not able to write those 1,500 kanjis. I think we can read it. We can kind of recognize how it looks and know what it means. But I don't really remember, how to write those more than 1,000 kanjis. So how can we do that? How can I actually write that in daily life? We don't have to write it because we can type it. So what we do is we just put the sound, like phonetical sound, and we can conjugate into kanjis, and we select. So as long as you can read it, you can almost like write it by typing. So that's the answer. So sorry, it's the bad answer. It's a really good answer. It's like there's a good way, but it's gradual. So try your best, and you'll be doing. You'll make it. Okay, next question. Uh, what is your greatest achievement in 2022 that you're proud of? Okay, so I've been doing YouTube for I think 2 years now, almost 2 years now. And thanks to you guys, I mean, thank you so much again for watching the videos and also live stream today, of course. And I now have like almost 150,000 subscribers. Of course, we cannot really compare with 2 point whatever million Mr. Afo, but I'm still like really appreciate what you do watching my videos. But this year, I've been not only the YouTube, but I've been trying a lot on Instagram. My Instagram was quite small in the beginning of this year, but right now it's got about almost like 75,000 subscribers. Yes, 75,000. Yeah, subscribers right now. And that's something that I try a lot because in Instagram I can maybe introduce the places I go all the time. I'm a YouTuber, but at the same time I'm the kind of business owner that I travel a lot to Japan. Places in Japan. So every time I go somewhere and I don't have time to film, what I do is I take a photo and I take a film, a small, really small movie, and I upload on Instagram. And then and hoping that people like it, and hoping that people visit those places. So that's something that I now have a lot more followers on Instagram. That's something that I achieved in 2022. Okay, so next question. What are some great Japanese movie recommendations? I love this question. Thank you so much. From Kaku, sorry, whoever it's from. Thank you very much asking me this question. Okay, there are some movies that I recommend today, and the first one is called Poppoya, the Railroad Man. Okay, it's Poppoya. Poppoya means poppo is like it's kind of like it's a sound, onomatope of the sound. It's like we actually put it into the poppo, the steam train, right? The guy, the Ken Takakura, who's famous for also famous for Black Rain. Maybe you might have seen the movie before, and he actually appeared in this video. It was filmed in Hokkaido, and I just went to the exact place the way it was filmed, and I actually posted on Instagram trying to the pose. The striker pose in exactly the same way that he did. Look at that. They still keep the not only the railway but the building and how it was when it was filmed. So it's a place called Minami Furano, South Furano in Hokkaido. South Furano is right next to Tomamu. Tomamu is really famous for ski resort. So people like who go to like in Hokkaido either go to Rusutsu or Niseko or this Furano. And some people say the Furano, the powder Sonori Furano is like better than the Niseko. Sometimes people say that. So when you have a chance to go to Furano and watch this the Poppoya first, and then go there, so you can just kind of you can kind of enjoy being in the same place, trying to take the photo like I did, and you can enjoy the area. So next one, it's called Antarctica. Yeah. Sorry, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Antarctica. Antarctica it's very old. This is an old movie as well. It's also the Ken Takakura is in it too. And as the title says, it's all about Antarctica. It's about the ship to research the Antarctica. The group of Japanese people, they have like the Showa base. They have it's a story about going to the base, staying in the base, leaving the base without leaving the base, leaving the dogs in Antarctica because they didn't have enough food for human. I think this movie was covered by American director, and it's also in English too. But the one, the original one in the 1980s, is the one that was made in the States, it was a happy ending. So I was happy that dogs were all alive. But this is based on a real story, and according to the real story, there were out of I think 20 or so, only two dogs left. There were only two dogs alive when they got back there a year later. So this Antarctica, the movie Japanese version, is based on that story. So out of those, I think 20 or so dogs, in this Japanese version, there are only two survived, and it's all about that. And it's quite long one, and I looked for that on YouTube, and I found one actually dubbed in English. So just take a look at it, and it's just the Antarctica Japanese and movie, and you should be able to find it. Okay, next one. Next one is called Departure. It's okuribito in Japanese. Some of you, many of you hopefully, might have watched my video a few months ago about what it's like to die in Japan. This is all about that. This is what it's like to die in Japan, but in many cases. So in Departure, this is a documentary. It's a fiction, but it's a guy who handles funerals. They will show you many kinds of funerals, depending on the different background of the family. Mother dies, the kid dies, the grandpa dies, and then every funeral has got its different story. And I just love all the human story behind it. And also, I just love the scenery. And this film, Departure, was filmed in Yamagata, and in the area that Chris Broad was teaching English. So it's called Sakata. So when you have a chance to go to Yamagata, try to visit Sakata, and it's a beautiful city. And make sure to watch the Departure before you go to Sakata. You should love it. Okay, so that is it for my recommendations of Japanese movie. So okay, so next up is going back to the question. Are people in Japan generally excited for tourists coming back? Yes, I do. I am. I'm very excited. And because I'm in the tourism business, at least 100% of the people around me are all excited about tourists coming back. Maybe if there is an area, I would say that maybe not so much enjoying is maybe the residents in Kyoto because they were already complaining about like over tourism in Kyoto in 2019, just before the COVID. Therefore, I guess and the people in Kyoto, I'm not really sure about that. But mostly, I would say that the people are happy having many tourists coming back and enjoying Japan. Okay, next question. What is the one Japanese dish you couldn't live without? Okay, very good question. If I have to rephrase this question, what I would eat if I have to die tomorrow. If I die tomorrow, what I would eat. So there's one dish I would have to eat just before I die, which is tonkatsu. Tonkatsu. Do you know what tonkatsu is? It's a deep fried, it's the pork cutlet. Pork cutlet. It's not originally. I think it came from Europe, Eastern Europe, I guess, or Central Europe, Eastern Europe. Tonkatsu is my favorite dish ever. And there's like a really good tonkatsu shop, tonkatsu restaurant everywhere. But the one I like to recommend, if I have to choose one, it's called katsupura. I'll show it later on anyway. So the reason why I like tonkatsu is just the pork here in Japan. I think the pork in Japan is so good. The fat is almost sweet. And then I like the one that I still remember that I enjoy the one I had with Chris in a video in Gunma. I think I did. I forgot the name of the place, but anyway, that was really thick. And then in Japan, tonkatsu restaurant, they serve you not only the deep fried tonkatsu, but it comes with the rice. and miso soup and some pickles. It's like that's a combo, and that is something that that combo, it needs to be that combo. And then normally somehow the good tonkatsu restaurant would serves good rice, good steamed rice, and a good miso soup too. So I just do I try a triangle method, which is you eat tonkatsu, rice, miso soup, tonkatsu, rice, miso soup. If you just follow these tactics, you can enjoy the tonkatsu the most. That's my tactics, pork tactics. And then let me just show you the restaurant called Katsukura. Let me go back to the map here. Okay, Katsukura. Katsukura. There you go. There you go. Yes. Look at that. Look at the texture. Love that. And English. Yeah, this is English, right? Okay. The shop. Location. There you go. This is not location, is it? This is not location. This is not location. Gallery. Okay. Location. Oh, there you go. Okay. They have one in Thailand. If anyone is watching from Thailand, congratulations, they have one in Thailand too. So they have Tokyo, Kanagawa, Osaka, Shiga, Kyoto, Hyogo, Kumamoto. There are many places. That's good. The one in Osaka is at the airport. The Itami airport. There's one in there. I always have that there. And so just look for one near wherever you're going, and just go there. You will know what I mean by speaking with good comments. Good comments. Okay. Next question. Okay, next question. Okay, what is the common date for Japanese people? Common date. Well, it really depends on how old you are, I guess. But because I already lived here, till I was 16, and I think before junior high school student, it was a common date was going to watch a movie and go to McDonald's. That was a common date because there was only one McDonald's back then, I guess, and the McDonald's was such a thing, kind of hip thing to do to eat McDonald's. So I was going to do that. During my university time, that was like in the beginning of mid 90s, I guess. That was kind of what we call bubble time. So Japan, the whole Japan as a nation was so rich, and people like to spend money so much. And what they did on a date those days was go to a really expensive restaurant and reserve in a really expensive hotel. And that was kind of spending so much money on the food and the hotel was a thing back then, but it's not like that anymore. Japan is not rich, So, so the common date in Japan was in the students movie was back then for my days, and right now I guess. Well, I don't know what people do. I'm married now, so I don't do it. But the four wives and husband, I think with the kids, eating sushi and kameki sushi I introduced is my date. It's my kind of ideal date, I would say. Okay, so next one. Next up would be, if I go to Sendai, what should I go and see? What should I stay? Okay, what should I go and see? What did I go and see? I said, what should I go and eat? Again, food. Food is very important. In my video, in Chris's video, we've introduced a lot of places in Sendai, but there's one thing I did not really well introduce this place, which is Gyutan restaurant. It's called Kaku. Okay, let's go to Kaku. Okay, map. Google Map. Kaku. Beef tongue. There you go, Kaku. Somehow it's not in English. Let me just check the language. Nihongo, not Nihongo. There you go, Kaku. Okay, there are like some branches of Kaku. So you just go to any Kaku. Make sure you go for dinner because the dish I'm going to show you right now is only available during dinner. That is, oh, before that, this is like grilled beef tongue. Some of you may find it disgusting as it's tongue, but believe me, trust me, and try it. You'll be in love with it. This is a typical beef tongue, and then beef tongue became really popular. And then Senda is a place, that place for beef tongue dish, and it always comes with rice and oxtail soup and beef tongue itself and pickles. And this combo was invented in Sendai, and it's been really popular for I think the last 60-70 years. So because gyutan became so popular, now you can try it anywhere in Japan. And this place, there's one really famous restaurant called DQ. It's available. There are branches everywhere in Japan. But this Kaku place, they have a different dish, special dish I want you to try, which is this. Guess what this is? Seared beef tongue. So they grill it on the surface, and they kind of try to keep the inside rare. This is something that I always have to try. And every time I have a friend or a guest coming over to Sendai, I kind of insist them to try this one because this is so good. And this is a dish only available during dinner time. So it's called gyutan no tataki. Tataki, T-A-T-A-K-I. Tataki is it means seared. So seared bonito is famous in various places like Kochi prefecture and so. But seared beef tongue is only available in Sendai. So try this, and pretty sure you'll fall in love with it. Okay. So going back to the questions, your questions. Okay. Where should I stay? Sorry, I was forgetting about that. In Sendai, there are many hotels. But Sendai is a big city. It's 1.1 million people right now as of today. There are many hotels. But if you have time, and if you, staying in Tokyo is always like between buildings, right? And even if you have like a great big window, you open it up and what you see is a building right in front of you. I don't want you to experience that in Tokyo, in Sendai. So there's one hotel I'd like to recommend strongly, which is called Sendai Royal Park Hotel. So the Sendai Royal Park Hotel is surrounded. It's only 20 minutes I think away from Sendai Station, and there's a bus, the shuttle bus from the station, so you can go there for free. Take it there for free, and that place has got a garden right in front, and it's surrounded by it's in nature. It's surrounded by the residential area, but it's going to be very, very green. But it's got a shopping mall right next to it too, and it's quite handy too. And the reason why I recommend that place is not only the environment and the quality of the food that they serve at the restaurant, but there's one reason. Emperor stays there. They keep it secret, but it's kind of obvious that whenever he comes to an event or an event, and so he always stay in this Royal Park Hotel. So when you come there, and the room is huge and very nice. I think we covered it once with Chris. The title I think was like, "What is it like to stay at $3,000 hotel or something?" What's $3,000 hotel or whatever the name? Just look for it. And we actually got into the room where Emperor stays. I don't know, whatever they could suite, the Emperor suite. They don't call it that way, but it's an Emperor suite for us. Try to look at that and then stay there, and hopefully you like it, and then just be an Emperor, act like an Emperor. Okay. So next question. What does your name mean in Japanese? Okay. In my last video, I introduced this one, the backpack, and if you buy this backpack, I'll kind of decide. I take your name and I put that into kanji, and so many of you may know that the each kanji has got its own meaning, and in my name Ryotaro, Ryo, I'm not really sure what Ryo is because. Taro means first son, and I'm the first son. There is a way to like when you have a child and a girl or boy, doesn't really matter. There's two ways of deciding names. One way is to kind of look for the kanji that actually suits how you want the kids to be in the future, like being kind, being sincere, being smart, whatever. But my case, this is the second case, is a little bit different because my grandpa has got the same kanji, Ryo. So actually, I took his name, the kanji, and I put Ryo in front and Taro, the first son. So Ryo Taro. That's what it means. So it's quite common in many families to take some your father's, mother's, your grandpa's, your great grandpa's name if you know that person's great. That's how my name comes to Ryo Taro. And my Sakurai, my last name, as you know, Sakurai is cherry blossom, so I think cherry blossoms. Okay, so that's what my name means. So the last question for this part, and after this, I'm going to answer your questions in the comment right now. Okay, what's the biggest difference between doing business in Japan and the West? How many times you bow? That is the difference. Right, okay. To answer your question in a very serious way, people say that in Japan, it's slow. People say the decision-making process is very, very slow, but once it's decided, it's really fast. Whereas in the West, the decision-making is very fast, but when it comes on the move, sometimes it slows up, it's fast. So that is something that I hear from a lot of people. So the government as well, Japanese government too, it's like really slow to decide, but when we decide on one thing, it's very, very quick. I remember in the 90s, I guess, when we had an internet line, the fiber line came in, and it was really slow compared to other countries like Korea, really fast. But once the Japanese government decided that they're going to introduce fiber into the Japanese households, it was so quick, and everyone had it in 1 year or so. So I think to answer your question, two things: how many times you have to bow, and also Japanese decision-making process is slow. That's what it is. Okay, that's it for the question that I have from Instagram and Twitter. So now I'm ready to answer your questions in the comment line. Okay. Now. Okay. All right. The victory over himself says favorite VTuber. VTuber. I'm not following. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not following. Cameraman, do you have anyone that you follow? VTuber.
iMouth.
iMouse? No idea. iMouse. Okay. Sorry, that's iMouse is the one that my camera likes. But if you can tell me, which one you follow, I'm trying to follow that person. Okay. Next one. Have you ever been to Hamamatsu? No, I have not been to Hamamatsu. One thing I know about Hamamatsu is there are only two sacred places for gyoza. And Hamamatsu is one. And the second one is Utsunomiya in Tochigi prefecture, right next to Nikko. Whenever I go to Nikko, I started Tochigi and Utsunomiya, I go to gyoza restaurant, 3 restaurants in a row. And in Hamamatsu, I'd like to do the same and enjoy gyoza. Okay, next question. What's your favorite Japanese beer? I don't drink beer so much, but recently I've been kind of trying the craft beer. Asahi Super Dry is the most famous one, people know it. But the craft beer, if you just search for black tide beer, black tide as in tide in the wave tide. Black tide beer is the one that I like. The design of the can is amazing, and then they actually introduce beer every month. They come up with a different flavor of the beer. And there's another one I like. It's called Yellow Beer Works. Let me just get you're right. Let me just get on a second. Yellow black tide beer. Let me just go from black tide beer. Black tide beer. That type brewery. I think the brewery is in Kesenuma city in Miyagi prefecture, and I think the brewer he is American guy. Do you see the American here? It's American guy. Is this guy here? Yeah, and I think he's from. I forgot which state he was from. This guy, yeah. So he is making really good beer in Kesenuma, and it's getting really popular. There's another one I like to recommend. It's called Yellow Beer Works. Yellow Beer Works. Come on. Okay. Hold on. Second time. Fine. Must be because we are doing the live stream. It is. Okay, Yellow Beer Works. So this is my friend is the one. Maybe some of you who've watched the video of myself making TKG. Remember what TKG is? Tamago kake gohan, raw egg on the rice with a sauce. We made it together with a farmer, the rice farmer, Koji-san and Emi-san, and these rice farmers started this Yellow Beer Works, and it's in Fukushima. And I love what they make. And then they started making the canned ones too. So if you have a chance to go to Fukushima city around the area, just just drop by, and they've got great beer. And just make sure that you watch the video. Okay? All right. So that's the video. That's the beer. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite Japanese boomer music? Boomer music. What's Japanese boomer music? I don't know what it is, but right now I don't know if it's boomer music, but in the 80s, there's a kind of genre called city pop in Japan, and in that city pop genre I heard it's become really popular in the world, especially in Europe and the States. And especially the Takeuchi, Maria, Yamashita, Tatsuro, and those people are like, well, actually they're a couple, they're married, and they're good musicians, really popular. And the city pop is the one that I'm always listening to, either when I'm in the car. So if you just search for city pop Japan, and and then also if you're doing if you have a YouTube Prime or a YouTube Music, or Spotify or Amazon Prime, whatever. Look for the playlist of Japanese city pop, and it should come up with lots of songs with those people, and I hope you like it too. Okay, next one. I need to remember to try to go to the Super Sentai film location on my return trip to Japan, and have to go back and rewatch the location. Okay, just to let me just explain a little bit of this. Have you heard of a Sentai, like a Power Ranger, and also Kamen Rider, and those is like special fiction films. Those ones are filmed in like various locations, but those people, like many of you have seen those programs. You know that in the very beginning of the program, they fight in the downtown somewhere, in a town-based kind of modern buildings and stuff. And then suddenly they move to the location where rocks and like I said, no grasses, no buildings, and then it started exploding to each other. That location, the explosion location, is in Tochigi prefecture. Again, right next to Utsunomiya, where I enjoy gyoza. And then I myself, organized a tour called what was that? Explosion tour. And let me just go to show you what it looks like. Explosion tour. There you go. This is what you do. So this is the exact location. They're still filming in Japan every Sunday morning because kids are off. every Sunday morning they have Kamen Rider and Sentai. They broadcast it every morning, sorry, every week. And so this is the very location they're still filming every week almost. And then so what you can do is you can actually stand right in front of the explosion, and then we explode 3 times with a 15 minutes of interval, and you can just shoot yourself with your camera or so, like make a video and post on Instagram or on YouTube, whatever. So the tool has been very popular because this is the place. This is a sacred location place for the where they film. So many people actually come with those belts, the henshin belt we call it, and also the gear that they when they change the costume, right? So if you're interested in these kind of things and exploring, you can experience it, and just search for the explosion tool. And then we do it next time. We're gonna do it in February 11th, I guess. So search for it, and then if you happen to be in Japan, just it's in English too. So yeah, apply it, and I'll be there too. Okay, thank you. Next one. Oh yeah. Thank you for the comments of saying I liked your videos on Japanese funerals and political campaign. Very different and really unique. Good job. Thank you. Those 2 videos are something that I really wanted to do because first of all, the funeral was so different to say Western funerals. Actually, I've never been to the Western funerals, but I've watched in many videos. Compared to that, the Japanese funerals are so different that, like, in the graveyard, my grave. It's not my grave; it's my family grave. And then it's always the first son that who goes into the grave and his kids. And if you're a second son, you have to create your own grave for your family. If this is the first or second son, is like it's quite kind of interesting culture itself, and then it's not your individual grave, but it's your family grave. That was something very interesting. Also, there is one thing I thought that was interesting, that the incense. In many families, when someone dies in the family, person, like normally the first son or the husband or the wife have to take care of this incense. It's a long incense like that, and you cannot let incense go. So you need to watch that for 20 or 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours, but until the morning that you can let it go. Those cultures are quite interesting, I thought. So funerals was one thing that the video was really good. And also the politician, political campaign, the election, Japanese election was another documentary that I have in my mind so strong, because we actually were thinking that Ajiki-kun, the guy who went on the campaign, we really thought that he was going to win, but he lost. But as a result of him losing the campaign, ironically, the video became really good. My camera said, "Oh, was actually better." It's so cruel, you know. But anyway, the reason why that video went really well was that people actually saw quite a big difference between 2 cultures, like in Western and East, and also Japanese election was really strongly different, because really different. Especially the campaign car is so loud, out loud, from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. They just keep screaming, and not about your policy. It's all about nothing about what you want to change about city or town or prefecture. It's all about your name. It's like in this case, like his name was Shunsuke Ajiki. So Ajiki Shunsuke, like 12 hours non-stop. And so there are many comments saying that, like, what is he doing just speaking out loud? And then don't people complain because it's so out loud? And also people don't care about what he wants to do. Yes, people care a little bit about what he wants to do, but it's mostly in how well you're known in that area. That's what it takes. especially in the countryside. And so as a result, because he was just new to the election, he lost, and all the older people in 80s, 70s, they all won. I was quite sad, but he's right now he's happy. What he's doing, the kind of revitalization of the area, and he just funded the company, everything. So he's really happy what he's doing right now. So I'm happy too. But only about that video, I think it showed a lot of interesting differences between Japanese elections and the West, I would say. Okay, just go through the questions. Can you slap Chris? Unfortunately, he's in the UK, so I can't do that. But I will do it. And I'll film that and I'll show it to you. Shorts, maybe YouTube shorts. What's that? Where are you at? Chris's studio. Which prefecture in Tohoku would you prioritize if you only had 9 days to visit? Depends on, like, if you're a first timer here in Japan, the second time, third time, fourth time. I mean, if you're first time in Japan, then you would obviously go to like Tokyo, Mount Fuji, Osaka, Kyoto, maybe Hiroshima. Maybe those 5 places are the places you would go maybe for the first visit. But if you're on the second or third or so, and then if you like winter sports, definitely Tohoku, Hokkaido in winter. You love this area. Talking about which, Miyagi, Yamagata, this area is famous for snow monsters. It's so cold out on the mountains. The snow kind of like slaps all the trees, and then it gets frozen, and it becomes like a monsters or snow monsters. Let me just show you what it looks like. Snow monsters. There you go. Snow monsters. So there are 4 ski resorts in both Yamagata and Miyagi Prefecture that you can ski through snow monsters, and this is something that I recommend if you're into snow sports, and for the second time you visit. And if you like warm, hot, tropical, then go to Ishigaki Island, the islands around the area. It's called Yaeyama Island. Then just go Yaeyama Island. It doesn't really tell. Okay, let me just explain. This is Japan. Okay. Okay. This is Japan. Okay. And this is Okinawa, the little island. And this is what I'm talking about. Like right next to Taiwan, almost. It's called Yaeyama Island, as I show it to you right now. And there are like several islands, and then the one I'm going to recommend you the most is called Hateruma Island, right here and right down below. This is southernmost island that I actually featured in the video as well. It's Hateruma Island. Yeah, look at that. Look at this beach. And then in the video, I got into the sea, and actually I drawn it too. It's got the southernmost point of Japan as well, and you can just I took the photo in this place as well. The beach is really beautiful. It's about 90 minutes from Ishigaki Island, the biggest island around it. And in Ishigaki Island, in the video, I feature some of the restaurants, the 3 things that you should eat in the island in Okinawa. Actually, I'm going to Okinawa from tomorrow as well, not on the mainland. And then there's something that I need to try in Okinawa Islands, Okinawa soba. It's soba. It's not really buckwheat noodle. It's soba in Okinawa means ramen. So Okinawa ramen, Okinawa soba is something that you can not only eat in Okinawa, but like if there are many Okinawa soba restaurants in Okinawa, I always try it. I eat like almost like once or 2 days. That's how much I love. And I featured it in the video as well, so watch it out. So, Hateruma Island and Ishigaki Island, Yaeyama Island is a total. If you like the southern tropical kind of warm climate, just try that and you will love it. So, again, talking about Japan, I guess depending on what season you go, the places I recommend could be different. Because Hokkaido is so cold and it's got iceberg comes from Russia and everything. And if you go to south, it's very tropical. It's more like Thailand and Taiwan. It's really like southern, very different. Like it's totally different from like Kyoto or Osaka. And it's a traditional Japanese things that you imagine. So enjoy the. One thing I want you to know about Japan is that Japan is not Shinjuku. Japan is not Kabukicho. So Japan is not Kyoto. Only about Kyoto. I want you to know what we have, especially the nature. I must admit that I must tell you that like that people don't know so much that about the fact that 3/4 of Japanese land is mountains. So I want you to know more about the Japanese nature. That's one thing I want you to try and to see and enjoy. At the same time, and the food. Again, like today I think throughout the videos, I mean this live streaming, I think I 80% of the time I was talking about food. So one thing like I always try when it comes to Japan and just enjoy food. And not only maybe Japanese food is one thing, but try some different kind of strange like American Japanese version of hamburgers, Japanese version of pizza, Japanese version of something is something like that could be a good experience too. Okay, so last question I'll have to go. Let me just choose very last question. Okay, I carefully choose my very last question. What's this? My last question. Okay. Yeah, okay. How many languages do you know, and how many do you learn new languages? Because I chose this as the last question because I get so many questions in many languages, and this is something that I want to kind of comment. I used to speak 5 languages. Japanese, konnichiwa, right? Hello, English, like I do right now. You hablo español, de hola, español, Spanish, and guten Tag, the German, and also buongiorno, Italian. Those are the 5 languages that I used to speak. But what remains now that I can that I can speak with confidence is Japanese and English, and also Espanol, the Spanish. German and Italian, I think I forgot most of it because I don't use it so much. Spanish because I took about like 8 years and I kind of studied abroad in Spain as well. So now I still remember how to speak. But Italian and German, I need to brush up a bit. I need to go back there and go to language schools. And the question says, if I try to if I have to learn something new language, what I would choose? Chinese, definitely Chinese, because those 5 languages I just talked about, apart from Japanese or European languages, right? So now I want to try something Asian, and obviously Chinese languages is very useful because I right now live right next to China and Taiwan and Hong Kong. They all speak Chinese, so I think Chinese is my next mission to achieve or complete. Okay, so that's it for the my Q&A. So did you enjoy it? I think I had more and more questions that I should be answering, but sorry I don't have time right now. But I make sure I promise you that I'm going to do this again. And again, I will ask you questions and try to answer it. And now borders are open. Now you can come to Japan. I can go to EU countries too. So yeah, when you come to Japan and just in Instagram, YouTube, whatever, leave me a comment. And where should I go? Restaurants, the places, the mountains, the ski resort, whatever. Ask me questions and I'll try to answer as many as possible to those questions. Well, okay, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Christmas day and happy holiday season. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in next video.